happening.
Do you think, Ken, it's going to lead back to the Prime Minister's office despite their attempts to say that he had nothing to do with this and that he's been innocent?
Well, our reporting has shown for months now that the money did not come from the Saudis, but it came via a bunch of companies and bank accounts related to 1MDB. And our story hasn't been called into question yet, and we have lots of evidence to back that up. So as the investigators dig deeper into this, it's been a real peel the onion type of story. You get little bits and more stuff comes out every week or every month or whatever. I think, it'll be hard to keep it away from the Prime Minister.
And, of course, as you mentioned earlier, the Attorney General cleared the Prime Minister very publicly. He's also told the Anti-Corruption Agency to stop investigations domestically. Do you think Najib Razak will survive this?
I don't know. I mean, he's gotten out so far, right? He's a pretty powerful guy in a pretty powerful position. I mean, so we don't know. I think the issue for the party, so does he keep his job, and then does he get investigated and somehow get involved in the criminal justice system? And I don't know that. I think in the party there's been some frustration because these guys who want to stay in office, and it's pretty hard to imagine he gets reelected in a couple of years. So I think the party could rise up, and there's been talk about that, but it still hasn't happened. He's retained his control on power. It's impossible to say what's going to happen in the Malaysian criminal justice system, although, again, he has a pretty strong lock on that. And then who knows what happens in the rest of the world.
There's, of course, been a lot of opposition to the very draconian laws that Najib Razak has introduced. There have been protests. They seem to be petering out a little. Do you think they will just die away?
We don't really know. I mean, the frustration with the Prime Minister and with this scandal has continued. There haven't been protests, but you do man-on-the-street interviews, and there's this rising frustration. And the economy is struggling, and the currency is struggling, and it's a tough time for this country anyway. So there's got to be frustration on the ground. I think the real action for the next few months is going to be these overseas investigations. And I think if they find really serious stuff, it's going to be very hard for the Malaysians to ignore it.
Well, we'll be keeping an eye on it. Thanks so much for joining us, Ken.
Thank you.